Hey friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. We are taking a dive into the scrap bin today. I've already cut my pieces because there was a little bit of math involved today. I had a layout in my head that I wanted to experiment, but I wanted to use a bunch of retired papers to do it. So these three came from a host paper set, and this one was Playing in the Rain, I think it was called. So I've got some basic black Flirty Flamingo and basic white for our matte layer. So I don't usually play with 1/8 of an inch. I usually do 1/4 of an inch. But for this one, I just wanted a little bit of a runaround. So this one, we've got 2.5 by 2 3/4 for the designer series paper, or sorry, the cardstock. The designer series paper is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the cardstock. So this piece is cut at 2 5/8 by 2 3/8. This piece we do not have a mat. It is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. This piece is 1 inch by 4 inches. So we've got our cardstock cut at 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. Excuse me. And then our last piece, we've got 2 3/4 by 1 5/8 and 2 5/8 by 1 1/2. So we're just going to get to assembling here. Grab our tape runner. So we're going to do all of our layers together, and then I have a bit of an idea for our sentiment for this one. I'm going to see if what's in my head translates well. If not, I do have a plan B, as always, for our sentiment. Okay, and then as always, kind of aim for centered. This guy does not have a matte layer, so we're just going to leave that one as is. Now for the layout of this guy, I am going to do bottom to top because in my head that's how it was. So we're going to start with this piece at the bottom, and then we're going to put our next piece horizontally. Now you can take this idea as a layout, change it up with whatever inks and cardstock and pattern paper that you have. That's the idea of Scrap Attack. You dive into your scrap bin and create with what you have. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this on the right-hand side. But it's kind of like a card sketch. You just kind of go with where the mood takes you. And then I am going to try to line this up to the edge. Whoops, that's not straight. Please don't rip. Please don't rip. Oh, too late, it ripped. So that's all right. We'll just kind of fudge it over. There we go. Give it a good smush down. Now, this guy I am going to put here. This one is going to be at the top. Actually, I think I'll place the top one first, so then I can get our piece that's matted on the black. And of course I ran out of adhesive because why wouldn't I? That's just kind of how we roll in this craft room. Let me see if I have any other adhesive that is open and ready to play. I usually do. I need to figure out a better layout on my desk. I got a new ink pad holder, and right now it's right in front of where all of my little, I've got tea bag for emergencies, but I've got these little wooden crates that have all kinds of little things in them, but this actually this is a permanent adhesive, but there we go. So yeah, I've got my inks right in front of them right now. I got to figure out a better layout for this. Okay, so then we're going to do our last piece. We're going to kind of center it between I like the little pop of black. Now you could pick any color out of your designer series papers that you chose. So I really like that they're different paper packs, but they all work together. Okay, so my idea for our sentiment is to take just a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to do not a full punch with the hexagon punch. So as always, we're just going to make sure that there's no silver showing through. And then we're going to give it a push and then crunch it down all of the way. And then my thought was to put it right at the top. So let's find, actually, I might just make a wish if it fits. Now this is from the Ice Cream Swirl stamp set, which is available in the January to April. Oh, cool. And it does fit. I love it when a last minute thought comes together. This is available in the January to April mini catalog, and also until the end of February at Celebration. So for every $60 that you spend, or $120 Canadian that you spend, you get to choose a free item. Yeah, I haven't used my Flirty Flamingo in a while, so I'm just going to stamp it off. And I do like how that looks. So original thought was to do a horizontal sentiment. We're changing it up to make a vertical one. Peel off. Now my goal for this year is to, every time I'm finished with a stamp, to put it right back into the stamp case. So far so good, but we're only, what, 2-ish weeks into the new year. Okay, and then I'll put that there, I think. I'm going to pop it up on some dimensionals. This dimensional sheet is empty, but you can absolutely use the edges because it's the same material and it makes your crafting dollar go further. And if you've been around here for a hot second, you know that I do love me a good deal and I like to get as much use as I can out of my crafty supplies. Okay, so I did stamp this in Flirty Flamingo as well. So we're going to pop that down there. We need bling. Just going to grab the rhinestones, mostly because they were close at hand, but also these guys are 100% my go-to. And I do love the sparkle and shine that it gives. I'm just going to do 5. Whoops. Right around the edge. And there you go. So nobody would ever know that this card was made from scraps. So you can blow through and make a ton of scrap cards with what's in your scrap bin, depending on how big the pieces are that you save. I tend to not save the super teeny tiny pieces, but anything that's at least, excuse me, anything that's at least 1/4 of an inch, I like to save. You can use the smaller pieces as faux ribbon. You can die cut the larger pieces. Really, you're limited by your imagination. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment below and be sure to sign up for my email so that you are getting a little bit of extra inspiration into your inbox each and every week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Have a great day.